Today on ZZZ Made Easy, we're simplifying the kit of Hugo. If you want a more in-depth guide, check out my full how to play guide. Hugo is an S-rank ice attack agent from Mockingbird. He's a super burst focused DPS who can quickly deal damage during stun phases. Hugo's core passive can be split into 4 parts. First, if there is one stun ally on your team, Hugo gets 300 attack in combat. If you have 2 stunners, Hugo gets 900 attack. Additionally, Hugo's EX special will deal 20% extra days to non-stunned enemies. Second, when Hugo chain attacks, or if he stuns an enemy himself, he will enter the Dark Abyss reverb state for 6 seconds. This grants 12% crit rate and 25% crit damage. Third, when the finishing move of Hugo's EX special or ultimate hits a stunned foe, this triggers Totalize. This will increase the damage multiplier of the skill by plus 1000%. For every second remaining on the stun timer, Totalize gets a larger bonus. This can max out at plus 3400% with 15 seconds stun time left. Most enemies do not have a 15-second stun timer, but Totalize front loads most of its bonus into the first 5 seconds remaining. If you can Totalize with 5 seconds left, this gives a damage multiplier bonus of plus 2400%. That is already around 70% of the max bonus. To bring everything together, the 4th part of the core passive will end the stun state when Totalize occurs. For every second remaining, Hugo refunds 5% of the day's bar. This has a max refund of 25% if you Totalize with 5 seconds left. As long as you can Totalize an enemy with 5 seconds left on the timer, Hugo will get most of the Totalized damage bonus and the full 25% days refund. He makes the next stun easier to get, so you can just cycle between stun and Totalize over and over. From Hugo's addition ability, he needs a stun or ice agent. This ability will boost his chain attack damage and Totalize damage. It also refunds 20 energy if Hugo Totalizes small normal enemies. This is a good time to note that Hugo's chain attack has excellent grouping capabilities. It can suck enemies together, Hugo gets extra damage, and if you Totalize these small mobs, it's gonna refund energy too. For the big elites and bosses, Hugo wants to use EX Special or Ultimate as soon as possible. You have a few options before setting off the big Totalized nuke. After his stun, send Hugo in to chain attack so he can get his Dark Abyss reverb buff. You can then cancel the next chain attack prompt and have Hugo EX Special or Ultimate. If you're playing anyone who wants to do a chain attack to activate buffs like the 4-piece swing jazz set, you can also send them in before Hugo. For the longer stun durations, Hugo can instead do a double chain attack. After his first chain, cancel the second prompt and swap agents. You need to do a heavy attack to trigger the 3rd chain attack prompt. This method will allow you to send Hugo in again. After you Totalize, Hugo can stay on field to generate energy. You want to have 40 energy per stun phase if you don't plan to use ultimate. After Hugo's EX Special or Ultimate, he can shortcut into the 4th basic attack. If you hold the basic attack button during Totalize, Hugo will do his 4th basic and the follow-up Concerto move. This generates a good amount of energy. For builds, Hugo wants a lot of crit rate because Totalize is a single hit. Hugo's signature job engine, Myriad Eclipse, offers 24% crit rate, 45% crit damage, and 25% defense shred during his big damage moves. For A-rank options, you can use the crit rate main stat ones like Mercado Desire or Cannon Rotor. Hugo can also utilize Gilded Blossom for attack and EX special damage. For the craftables, Street Superstar can boost ultimate damage a lot after doing chain attacks. For Drive Disc, 2-piece Woodpecker Electro would be good for its crit rate bonus. You can pair that with 4-piece Hormone Punk for a massive in-combat attack boost every 20 seconds. You only want to bring Hugo in for stun phases, so Hormone Punk fits that burst DPS playstyle. Just be very cautious not to swap Hugo in before the stun phase. For teams, Hugo can work alongside double stun agents. Lycon is his ice damage partner and can shred ice res plus increase the stun damage multiplier. Later is an excellent ally since he buffs ice damage, shreds ice resistance, and then increases the stun timer by 3 seconds. This will increase Totalize's damage bonus. You can run Later or Lycon alone with a support like Astra or a buffer like Caesar who also provides good days. The standard ice team of Lycon plus Sokaku is fine as long as the enemy has a longer stun timer. You can also use the shorter lasting buffers like Nicole or Rina too. For Ching-Yi, she can increase the stun damage multiplier by 80%, but may not play well with a second stunner. For the other double stun teams, you could use the off-field aftershock stunners like Trigger or Pokora. Kaleda and Ambi can work too, but definitely try to find stunners who can also buff Hugo's damage output. Hugo wants to reap as many stun phases as possible. Ending the stun phase early with a day's refund creates a high tempo playstyle, and Hugo encourages the use of double stun teams. He isn't going to be on field a lot, but Hugo comes in to steal the show with his totalizing nukes. If you enjoy playing stun agents, then Hugo quite literally will allow you to use them most of the fight. If you enjoyed this video but want to learn more, then check out my full How to Play Hugo guide. We talk about all of Hugo's mechanics and moves in much more detail. Thank you for watching, have fun with Hugo, and I will see you in the next video.